Creator of ruler of heaven and earth, we beseech thee to inspire and guide our counsel and action, so that we may always walk in the path of justice, God, and charity to one another. Help us with thy grace to do only those things that promote the peace, unity, happiness, and prosperity of Nigeria. Amen. And then you conference accurately and present a good report from the Lord Federal Constituency. I'm part of our never representing the level of
members, my name is Fred Oboa, representing the two people of the Federal Constituency. Now, compliance of this.
Thank you, Mr. Honorable Police. I'm Honorable Comrade Chinedu of the Agoa. I represent the people of the South African Federal Constitution. I'm from the state.
My colleagues, invited guests, I have
So the Executive Chairman, Federal Revenue Service, and let me read us. Even though you have not come with the head of the legal department, but I will quickly take you through the provision of the Constitution. As to the regard to the file, I take you through. Have you seen Section 14, subsection 3?
Yes, sir.
Good. It is stated that the composition of the government of the Federation or any of its agencies and the conduct of its affairs shall be carried out in such manner as to reflect the federal republic, the federal character of Nigeria, and the need to promote national unity and also to command national loyalty, thereby ensuring that there shall be no predominance of persons from a few states or from a few ethnic or other sectional groups in that government or any of its agencies. Subsection 14, Section 14, subsection 4, further stated that the composition of the government of a state, a local government council, or any of the agencies of such government or council, and the conduct of the affairs of the government or council, or such agency shall be carried out in such manner as to recognize the diversity of the people within its area of authority and the need to promote a sense of belonging and loyalty among the peoples of the Federation. In Third Schedule, Part 1C, Section 8, subsection 1, it is stated that in giving effect to the provisions of Section 14, subsection 3 and 4 of this Constitution, the Commission shall have the power to A. Work out an equitable formula subject to the approval of the National Assembly for the distribution of all cadres of posts in the public service of the Federation and of the states, the armed forces of the Federation, the Nigerian Police Force, and other government security agencies. B. Promote, monitor, and enforce compliance with the principle of proportional sharing of all bureaucratic, economic, media, and political force at all levels of government. C. Take such legal measures, including the prosecution of the head or staff of any ministry or government body or agency which fails to comply with any federal character principle or formula prescribed or adopted by the Commission. In the House, standing order It provides that there shall be a committee to be known as Committee on Federal Character at the commencement of the life of the Honorable House. 2. The committee's jurisdiction shall cover A. Oversight of the Federal Character Commission. B. Investigating complaints of non-compliance with the Federal Character Principle by ministries, departments, and agencies, and advising the House thereon. C. Ensuring that the Commission complies with the functions assigned to it in the Constitution. D. Promoting, monitoring, and ensuring compliance with the principles of proportional sharing of all force at all levels of government. And E. Ensuring that all appointments into every public company or sector of the economy or polity and corporation reflects the federal character in its director and the senior management cadres. Distinguished honorable colleagues, our invited guests, having raised the provision of the Constitution and the matter in our House standing order, let me briefly read the brief about the FIRS engagement with the Honorable Committee. Distinguished honorable colleagues may recall that the committee in a letter dated 23rd August 2019 was sent to the commission to the FIRS requesting them to submit their nominal roll. The letter was received same day with a deadline of submission of Friday 30th August 2019. Federal Inland Revenue Service neither submitted the nominal roll nor gave reasons for its inability to submit. The committee wrote again in a letter dated 23rd October 2019 requesting for the nominal roll of the organization and invited the executive chairman, director human capital and director legal of Federal Inland Revenue Service to appear before the committee today, Wednesday 30th October 2019 to defend the nominal roll requested and other staff matters of the service. But the former management requested the meeting to be rescheduled and thereafter, due to the exit of the former management, the committee could not hold the meeting. In view of the above, the committee wrote a letter dated 10th June 2020 inviting to appear before the committee today, Wednesday 17th June 2020 for an interactive meeting of the submitted nominal roll and the recruitment exercise being conducted by the service. And here we are today. We thank God. Distinguished honorable colleagues, our invited guests, you have heard the brief and you have heard the provision of the Constitution. Having submitted your nominal roll, the committee sat down, it analyzed the document you have submitted, and we came off with our analysis. And in the analysis, we discovered that there are imbalances in the separate of the manpower of the service. Did the acting chairman or did the representative of the chairman is aware of the imbalances that exist in the FIRS? Are you aware of the imbalances?
So that the enable us also address the issue, because as this analysis, I'm just telling it now. Okay. Yes.
Representative of the chairman, you made your own analysis, and the committees made its own analysis. And when you compare notes, it is almost the same thing. So we work on both of them because they are almost the same thing. Yes. From your own analysis, let me just quickly take you to the one you have started, North Central. Yes. You had the provision of the Constitution very well. You heard the provision of the Constitution very well?
Yes, sir.
Good. From the North Central,
Yes, sir.
how many staff do you have from Kwara State? Yes.
It's 205.
Kwara State.
288, sir.
288.
Yes, sir.
Good. And how many are from Plateau State?
158, sir.
168.
Yes, sir.
Good. And how many are from FCT Abuja?
FCT. Okay. 58, sir.
58.
Yes, sir. How about natural state, sir? Natural is 147.
Go to the northeast.
Northeast.
Yes.
Okay, sir.
How many are from Borno State?
Borno State is 324.
Borno State 324.
Yes, sir.
And how many are from Bauchi?
143.
143. And how many are from Yobe State?
Yobe, 137.
137. Go to the northwest. How many are from Kaduna State?
317, sir.
How many are from Katsina?
340.
And how many are from Sokoto?
116.
What of Jigawa?
Jigawa is 111.
Go to the southeast. How many are from Imo State?
279.
And how many are from Ebonyi?
141.
Good. And how many are from Enugu?
Enugu, 198.
Go to the south. How many are from Edo State?
306.
And how many are from Bayelsa State?
91.
What of Rivers?
Rivers, 168.
168. Now go to the southwest. How many are from Ogun State? 258.
Yes, sir.
Good. Is it correct that the service has a total number of 8,458 permanent staff?
Yes, sir.
As of that time or as of today?
According to your analysis?
Sir? Yes, sir.
Good. Now, this 8,458 is at what date? As at what date?
Date of the nominal roster. 25th October 2019.
25th October 2019. The committee would like to know the total number of staff to date. How many? To date. Yes. To date, how many do you have?
Well, I need to give you an approximation because we need to remove those who are. Have you got any improvement? Well, by the past administration, yes, but it has not been included because.
I know. Have you got any improvement between 25th October 2019 to date?
Sir, I said that we are improvement between this date to the end of last year, but they have not been reflected.
I know.
Because okay, they have not been reflected.
But is it any improvement between these days?
Yes, sir.
That's what I'm asking.
Yes, sir.
How many have you recruited?
Sir, they were recruited before they were on ground. How many? There were about 1,000.
Is it about?
Can you give the exact figure?
Just an average of 1,000.
No, the committee wants the exact figure.
At the coming of the new chairman, there was an embargo on it. So, gradually we now started reviewing updating the credentials. So, we are yet to, because of the COVID, we are yet to round up.
How many people have you issued an appointment letter?
I don't have that figure on my
Yes, right?
Yes, sir.
How many people have you recruited?
Sir, I don't know this.
Okay. Okay.
I need to do back to the phone.
Okay, it's okay. It's okay. Now, based on the analysis you made and the one our own committee made, if you compare the two, it is almost the same. We don't. You see, representative of the chairman, you say your own understanding is not to have an equitable figure across the state, right?
Sir, what I said, sir, that my understanding is not that if we are going to not that this 8,458 was carried out one day, it comes across the previous administrations, cumulating to this day. So
Now, can you tell the committee that it is fair enough for the FIRS to have 306 for Edo State and 91 for Edo State?
Is that fair?
well, the ratio of 300 is not fair.
Yes, sir.
It's not fair.
It's not fair.
Yes, sir.
Confer 200, 451 for Ogun and 258 for Oyo.
Very well, sir.
And can you confer 451 for Ogun and 141 for Ebonyi State? Now, what is your understanding of the Constitution?
Yes, sir.
Which post were you before?
I was director of Market, sir.
You know that, sir?
Just for 6 months.
For 6 months, right? During these 6 months, did the service did any recruitment?
Sir?
During the 6 months, as a director head up,
Yes, sir.
did you do any recruitment that time?
Yes.
Have you respected the principle of fairness and equity? And
Yes,
that was
sir.
very.
Yes, sir.
If I ask you to submit the number of of that particular recruitment review, can you do so?
We can do it, but it's not here. It's not part of this.
Okay, since you agree with me that it is not fair enough in terms of the time to respond to the comments before we go to the current recruitment you are doing.
Yes, sir.
Looking like the lowest.
Yes, sir.
So what happens to Bayelsa actually that it comes out to be the lowest? Anyway, you have told us that it's not fair, isn't it? And so something has to be done. Is that true? Can you answer us, please?
Sir, I said yes, sir.
Okay, you said yes, sir. Okay. Let me raise my question.
Doesn't stay long on the same. I want to believe that when the seminar initially does not stay too long on the that the total summary of a position that anomaly has been noticed in this seminar role. And part of that was very strong ground. What are you going to do to correct this anomaly? Give it a commitment from you, the chairman, and member of this. What will you do to correct this?
What the constitution spells out in terms of thinking, no state should have no Now we have states here by your own, I'll say admission. You have 0.7%, you have 1.7%, you have 2%, you have states that have 4%. My state has 4%. My state has 4%. So it's not about individual things, we're talking about collective issues here. So it's not a suggestion, it's a law. And by what we're seeing here, there's without breach of the law. When we're talking to you, we're talking to FIRS, not you. So it doesn't matter how long this constitution has been there. I'm sure there's a lot of employment that will come. And the 1,000 plus that we just did, I'm surprised that you cannot provide us with information about
That's not legal services.
No. For somebody to look on it,
No. The 1,000 plus just recruited. Before the current recruitment, who was the head of personnel or staff? Head of human resources.
Mr. Kundere is now retired.
What was your own position there?
I was the Director of Special Task Force in Lagos.
Unit, just Lagos.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'll answer that question for you at the end. I'll be coming down. Then, the contract staff. By what means did you employ the current staff? Through advertisement, by waiver, by whatever?
Staff or contract staff.
No. Okay, that question. The 1,000 plus you did recently.
No, sir. But it's true, sir.
Did you advertise that yes or no?
With due respect, sir. I did not say we recruited 1,000. I said recruitment that was done on ground were about 1,000, which have not been reflected. It's not that
okay, the about 1,000 were the positions advertised.
I think there was a waiver from Federal Canada.
Mr. Chairman,
do you have it?
Mr. Chairman, with due respect,
Do you have the waiver?
sorry, I'm not finished, sir. Mr. Chairman, I am lost. And the process employed by FIRS in carrying out this assignment, Mr. Chairman, I want them to submit the waiver. I want them to submit all procedure and processes they used. And the same method of this data sheet we have, indicating the state of origin of each of the and their positions. They should forward it to the chairman of this committee. To the committee. Then secondly, the chairman, I want to know from them, why do you have contract staff and what categories of people do you have as contract staff? The contract staff, did you give them first line of rejection during your last recruitment exercise? Or how many of them were accommodated? And why having contract staff when we have this unemployment everywhere? About our youth, about our graduates.
I must say that if you look at your page, in as much as I said, the spread is somewhat there. You see that, because I know that the head of the agency is a political appointment, the executive chairman, right? It's a political appointment. But in terms of directorship, what you see from North Southeast, there's no commander bracket. No, there's no director here commander bracket. I don't know if it's a difference. There are some other states. Now, I'm giving you that news. I'm giving you that proof saying, yes, there's a bit of spread, but there's none as director from Anambra State. They will have retired. Okay, so put another one, please. Thank you. Thank you very much.
This is a federal establishment or federal organization, federal institution that has to reflect equitable rate of representation from all these states. What you are seeing here is federal character. We are all from different states. That means we are qualified to be here. When you say, or when somebody says there's an office and there's no qualified person from Bombay or from Yobe, I don't agree with that. From this analysis, my colleagues have mentioned, I don't want to repeat, you acknowledge that the gap or the ratio is so wide, and that is why we are having conflict in our constituencies. In some constituencies, they don't have representation, or rather, they don't have work in some of these areas. That's where you have conflict. War starts. But when you distribute work in the various states, it goes to villages. They have food on the table. It quells some of these conflicts coming up. So my question is, it's not just about the Southwest. When you look at Southwest here, a total of 1,922. 6 states. You go to Northeast or Northeast that have 6 states also, you have only 1,269. The same thing North Central and others. What we do here is we don't care our state, we care about distribution. That's the fact. So if we don't say it to you, I think we're just doing injustice for this nation and for our constituency. Now, for me to add on that 1,000, the truth is, Mr. Chairman, I have an unconfirmed report that you are still recruiting. Whether it's confirmed or not, I said it. Now, if something like that is going on, we have to put a stop to it until this lopsidedness is corrected. Because there's no way we're going to have an employment again without referring to these issues here so that you could manage it well. So to me, there's a lot of work to do. As the motion being moved, some other information that we need from you has to come. And please, this is the 9th Assembly. We are watching all federal establishments to make sure the federal character is applied to whatever thing that is happening. Thank you, sir.
For appropriate to apply so that that issue of we advertise and people did not respond, it should not be an excuse. So let them be guided by between 2.5 and 3% to achieve that, and let emphasis on the people that are below 2% in the present submission that is going to us today. And then finally, I want to know how many people is it really that they want to employ now, and have they got the waiver to do employment, or they are still working on the old waiver that they have? If so, if they have taken a 1,300 out of this, how many is remaining? So what is the, how many people are they looking for right now? Thank you.
Take them off chief executive on the issue of, for example, directors are career appointments, and along the lines of retire, then some people are promoted into those positions. These are not directors' positions are usually not repeated straight. So on the issue of recruitment, all the data now, doing all these observations, we are taking them down. All the items that need to be supplied are going to be supplied to this honorable committee, and we are assuring you that every issue you require, you will get it. Part of the gap was that we are bearing in mind what we have at this stage. So, and the analysis of come within some honorable committee, will now enable us to address the gaps that is created in whatever form that is necessary.
How many people are doing this now?
Someone asked about the budget, what criteria are you going to
contract staff, usually in our rules, HRTP, human resources, there's a provision that occasionally for someone who is more than 50, you cannot engage him as a permanent staff. So if he has a skill to which the service requires, he is usually engaged on contract. Usually in the first 2 years, and then if the person's performance is okay, it can be renewed for the next 2 years during the tenure of that subsisting chairman. So when a new chairman comes, for those whose tenure has not expired, they still continue to expire, except where those particular category is no longer required in service. So that is usually the procedure. And if it's director level, then the board will need to approve. That is basically how it applies for contract staff. For contract staff, we don't advertise. It's usually at the discretion of the chief executive, especially chief executive feels that a particular area is required to function, deliver its mandate. It needs to fill it up. So we will engage such categories of contract. That is how the issue of contract came in. This is not the first time since the autonomy of the service, and that was all the subsidiary chairmen usually engage contract staff. So it's not really an isolated matter.
Yes. Sorry. According to your word,
Yes, sir.
both 50 years old, all the contracts have been having
I'm not saying all. I'm saying one of the criteria.
That's what you told us here now.
For example, now if you need an expert,
But I know that people have people that people less between 25 and 30 years old. Never read. That's what I thought. So you cannot tell us that they are all
Chairman, sir. Take some changes here and there in the new recruitment they are going to embark upon. I didn't want to talk, but on this contract staff is just what I want to observe. I used to believe, and the way I understand, even in our extant rules and regulations, even in the civil service rules, that when you are engaging a contract, you only engage a contract staff where you have lack of manpower or somebody who is an expert in a particular field that is not available. Is that so?
That's one of the reasons. Another reason, sir, we do respect, sir. If area as a staff of somebody who is competent or qualified, academical area, yes, and staff with skill in that area. For example, in that area, and you want to tell me now that in this country, so what is the prerogative of the chief executive?
No, the law should be followed, not the prerogative of the chief executive. That's why we have not wanted to listen to you. Sorry, Chairman, sir. Listen, for 6 months, your laws are not different from the other two sides. The act establishing your organization, does it allow that you engage somebody for more than 6 months?
We do respect, sir. Our policy in the service, we only rely on public service to if there is a lacuna, if there is an omission, if there is an area that has not been specifically addressed.
Chairman, Chairman, sir, I think I will request that let me
allow the situation. Consideration of all everything about recruitment must be liberalized. Currently, what I mean currently. Everything, nothing is
I'm of the opinion, I was thinking contrary to your post, and I was thinking that most likely we might resolve that, okay, let the secretary now speak with them in the meeting, interface with them, so that we see, yes, these are where lapses are, this is how they correct it, instead of suspending the entire process. This is my own opinion. I'm thinking that let them, if visit the place, the chairman's office, and come up and say, then we convey it. We agree with it, we adapt it.
So, since they have been recruiting, what is the balance that is happening and if you want to recruit?
Are you not part of the service? Are you not part of the service? That's why I said it.
Most people get everybody on Central. And you want to tell me that in the whole of my state, we don't have anybody that is the best best director. I said that.
It's supposed to be at all levels.
Chairman. Chairman.
The last one. No.
Chairman, I want to make one clarification.
I can read a part of that notice to you right now from the FIRS. But there's a question, just to follow up with what my honorable member said. This is the status of recruitment, the public notice from FIRS. The number 2 part says the exercise currently going on is the verification of documents of those employed in the last quarter of 2019 and few additions that were made in the first quarter of year 2020. Few additions. That's your notice. You now said, as a result of new operational and tax audit offices created by the new management in Lagos, Port Harcourt, and Abuja, the verification, documentation, and induction exercises were later suspended due to the COVID-19 pandemic and lockdown in the country. And now you said after the lockdown that this exercise will continue. So this will answer that question that he asked. However, that brought up another question. You claim that 1,000 was related to the previous administration. However, in your notice, you will notice that there is a new recruitment that came up at the beginning of year 2020. Please answer to that.
Like he has to write to further character to grant him some waiver to enable him.
So he got a waiver.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let me just round up so that my chairman will. What I would suggest, in order not to belabor this, correct these imbalances right now, not later. Whatever it is that is going on, see the secretariat, ensure that all these areas, these shortcomings. Imagine my colleague from FCT now, you are recruiting and he is having only just 58 or is it 98 or 58. So you can imagine, I would suggest that you see the secretariat and correct, I would say that should be a motion, Chairman, that they should see the secretariat and the imbalances should be correct. They should be done now, not later. I so move.
Submission. You made mention that it is a new recruitment. It is not a new recruitment. It was the one you inherited from the previous administration, right? And from the information passed just by the deputy chairman, it captured very well in your own information that there were few additional recruitment due to some reasons best known to you, right? And you further reaffirmed to the committee that yes, on the assumption of the new chairman, he seek waiver from the commission for him to enable him to recruit some few staff, right? You see, from your own submission, it looks like there is conflicting statements. You say you are not a recruitment right now. And your information tells the committee that no, there is a new recruitment under this current administration, this current new administration. And you now confirm to the committee that yes, there is.
Document was inherited, and he himself is also a Nigerian himself. So at least he should be entitled, since he was not there. What I'm saying is that Yes, sir. Because to complete it, that was why you have to write federal character commission to get this waiver.
Now, in summary, we now complete the previous one in inherited. And he has two recruitment now. The one he inherited and the one he initiated by himself, right? Good. So, what we are saying, both the inherited one and the one he is now currently doing should both reflect the principle of federal character, irrespective of who initiates the process. That is the position of the committee. Even if it is one person, talk less of 2, 3, or 100 persons. So the committee now, I think in summary, would like you to submit all the documents concerning the inherited documents, the recruitment exercise, the current one that the new chairman initiated, the total number of the one he inherited and the one he initiated, the total number of the one he inherited and the one he initiated by himself, all the waivers, the compliance certificate, the approval from the Accountant General Office, approval of the board to undertake the recruitment exercise, and all the approvals from the Federal Character Commission. A formal letter will be sent to you from the committee requesting all the necessary documents and information as related to the recruitment exercise. In a nutshell, from the 25th of October 2019 to date, the comprehensive analysis or the comprehensive report of all the staff that we recruited from 25th October 2019 to date. October 2019 to date. From 2019 to date, yes. Distinguished honorable colleagues, I think in the absence of any further comment, I would like to call the meeting off. The committee, as I said, will send you a formal letter requesting you all the necessary information, of which you would like to respond as soon as you receive the letter. Thank you very much. Do you have any suggestion on the date to submit? No? Okay. Now, someone should move for attendance. I know Victor will. Thank you. The letter has been adjourned.
In the 80s, akwai wani ciwon da ya fi kasar nan ana kiran shi dan Zaria.
Victor Mela.